All right, today we're going to dive into the incredibly powerful, almost meditative lyrics of Alison McLean's song Already Perfect. Now, it's a really short piece, but trust me, it is packed with a huge message about authenticity and, all the ways we tend to get in our own way. So, let's get right into it.
So the song kicks off with this line, and it is so potent. And the first thing you notice is, this isn't a suggestion, right? It's presented like an absolute fact. This single line is basically the entire argument of the song in a nutshell, so let's really unpack what it means.
To even begin to understand that opening line, we've got to tackle the big idea head-on. What does McLean even mean by already perfect? Now, this isn't about being flawless or never making mistakes. No, it's pointing to something deeper, a kind of foundational, natural state of being, an organic rhythm that just exists before we start messing with it.
And that, of course, brings us to the other key word here, interference. So if we have this natural, perfect state, then interference is, well, it's anything and everything we do that gets in the way of it. It's all the stuff we layer on top of ourselves that hides or changes who we really are. And the song gets super specific about what that interference actually looks like.
The song zeroes in on a very specific kind of interference, and it's one I think we can all relate to. The problem, as the lyrics frame it, is this constant process of running filters on ourselves.
I really want you to pay attention to the wording here. We run our own filters. That suggests it's an active process, doesn't it? It's not something that's just happening to us. No, we are the ones at the controls, operating the machinery, curating our own presentation for the rest of the world. But the song also asks, why? Why do we do it?
And the lyrics lay out this process with just incredible clarity. Look at this. The motive? It's simple. It's deeply human. We want to feel good, and we want to fit in. The action we take to get there? We run these filters. And the result of all that? It affects our presentation, how we show up to others, which, let's be honest, is often totally different from how we truly are on the inside.
Okay, so here's the crucial point. This filtering, it isn't harmless. It has a real consequence, a real cost. The song basically argues that every single time we apply one of these filters, we're building a wall.
And this line, wow, it illustrates the cost so perfectly. We expand the link of distancing ourselves. It's not just a tiny gap. With every little act of filtering, that link, that chain holding us away from our true nature, it just gets longer and longer and longer. But what are we distancing ourselves from exactly?
The lyrics start to paint this picture of separation, kind of piece by piece. It's a separation from something absolutely vital.
First, we lose our natural beat. Just think about that for a second. Your own internal rhythm, the tempo that is uniquely yours. Filtering disrupts it. It forces us to march to a different, totally unnatural drum. And when we do that, we sever our direct link. That immediate, intuitive connection to our own core, it gets lost. It's like adding a ton of static to a perfectly clear radio signal. And where does that link lead? Right back to our organic beat. The song emphasizes this idea twice. It's natural, it's organic, it's the authentic self we were born with, and our filters are creating this ever-widening canyon between who we are and who we're pretending to be.
So, okay, that's the problem and its consequences. It sounds a little heavy, I know. But the song doesn't just leave us there. It also offers a really clear and frankly beautiful alternative to all this filtering.
This right here is the turning point. It's a statement of liberation. All that filtering, that curated presentation, it's just us playing a certain way. And the song's core message is that this whole performance, it is completely optional.
And this slide just puts the choice in such stark contrast. On one side, you have the filtered self, which is a forced performance. On the other, you have the authentic self, which is described as something that can flow naturally. It's really the difference between forcing a river into a concrete channel versus just letting it find its own path.
And this is where the whole concept comes right back to us. In our jobs, in our relationships, on our social media, which mode are we choosing moment by moment? Are we forcing a performance, or are we allowing that natural flow? The song is holding up a mirror and just asking us to be honest about that choice.
So as we bring all of these pieces together, the problem of interference, the cost of the distance we create, and the alternative of a natural flow, we arrive at the song's ultimate repeated command.
This is it. This is the whole thing, the central thesis, now delivered as a powerful instruction. Never filter that which is already perfect.
It is a call to action to stop the interference, to dismantle the filters, and to trust that our core organic self is not just enough, it's perfect exactly as it is.
And that leaves us with this one last pretty provocative thought. I mean, think about it. We spend so much of our lives striving for perfection, trying to improve ourselves, trying to fix ourselves. But what if that entire framework is just wrong? What if, as these lyrics suggest, perfection isn't a destination we have to struggle toward, but it's the very place we all began? What if the work isn't about becoming perfect, but simply returning to the perfection that was there all along?